Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about the ancient Egyptian civilization.
They built huge temples with golden treasures inside. But how did they do it?
How did these people live? What was their lifestyle back in the days? Well, let's find out more in today's video. The ancient Egyptians were well known for their magnificent temples that had precious materials like gold. But what was the significance of gold to them? Did they have gold mines within their borders? Well, it turns out that the answer is yes and no. The ancient Egyptians had some gold mines within their borders, but they weren't enough to satisfy their needs. So they started trading with other civilizations to acquire more gold. But why did they need so much gold? You might ask, because gold was not only used as a form of currency, but also as a symbol of wealth and power. And who didn't want to be wealthy and powerful? No one. The pharaohs, who were the rulers of ancient Egypt, were considered to be divine beings, and they were often depicted as wearing gold jewelry and using gold in their religious ceremonies. Gold was also used to decorate the tombs of the pharaohs and other important people in ancient Egyptian society. These treasures were meant to last forever and accompany the pharaoh in his afterlife journey. The most famous example of this is the tomb of King Tutankhamun, which was filled with gold and other precious items. Now, let's talk about the Nile River. It was the lifeline of ancient Egypt and played a major role in their culture and economy. The river was used for transportation, irrigation, and fishing. The ancient Egyptians believed that the Nile River was a gift from the gods, and they held it in high regard. In fact, the pharaohs were even said to be the sons of the Nile. Now let's explore the methods. The ancient Egyptians used to build their massive temples. First off, they chose the locations carefully, usually near the Nile River or other bodies of water, ensuring a steady supply of water for construction and religious rituals. They also considered the natural landscape, often selecting sites with flat, elevated areas that could accommodate large structures without the need for extensive excavation. The process began with the creation of a platform made of mud brick or stone. This platform served as the foundation upon which the temple walls and other structures would be built. The platform was carefully leveled to ensure that the temple would be stable. And the next steps. The ancient Egyptians built their temples using massive blocks of stone. Limestone and granite were popular choices due to their durability and aesthetic appeal. The stones were quarried, transported, and shaped using tools such as copper chisels, hammers, and saws. The blocks were then lifted into place and carefully fitted together using techniques that are still not fully understood today. They constructed their temples using a post and lintel system. This method involves setting up vertical posts or columns and then placing horizontal beams across the top to create a roof or lintel. Intricate carvings and decorations were added to the stones, often depicting religious scenes or the pharaoh's accomplishments. Hieroglyphics were also inscribed on the temple walls, serving both as a decorative element and a way of recording historical events and religious texts. The interiors of the temples were just as impressive as the exteriors, with large halls, chambers, and sanctuaries dedicated to various gods and goddesses. Some temples even featured secret passages and hidden chambers. To ensure that the temples were aligned with the cardinal directions, the ancient Egyptians used a device called a mirror. This device consisted of a horizontal copper tube placed on a vertical stake and a plumb bob made of a weight suspended by a cord. By observing the movement of the plumb bob in relation to the horizon, the ancient Egyptians could determine true north and accurately align their temples. Now let's talk about how the ancient Egyptians decorated their temples with gold. The process of applying gold leaf to the temple walls was a labor-intensive and highly skilled craft. First, the walls were carefully prepared by smoothing and polishing the surface to create a shiny, reflective backdrop for the gold. A thin layer of plaster was then applied to the wall and allowed to dry. Next, the gold leaf was carefully applied using a variety of brushes and tools, creating intricate patterns and designs. The gold leaf was often mixed with other materials such as silver, copper, and lead to create different colors and effects. The final step was to apply a sealant to protect the gold leaf from damage and ensure its longevity. The result was a stunning display of gold that shimmered and reflected light, giving the temple walls a truly magnificent appearance. Egyptian kings, known as pharaohs, were considered divine rulers with absolute power over their subjects. Pharaohs were believed to be the embodiment of the gods on earth, and they were worshipped as such. They were responsible for maintaining order and justice in the kingdom and for protecting its people from harm. Pharaohs also played a major role in religious ceremonies and rituals, often serving as the head of the priesthood and the chief priest of the state religion. They were also considered to be the supreme judge in all matters, both civil and criminal, and their word was law. In addition to their religious and legal powers, pharaohs were also the owners of all property in Egypt, including land, buildings, and even the people themselves. They controlled the economy and the distribution of resources, and they were responsible for collecting taxes and maintaining public works projects. Life in ancient Egypt was very different from life today. The ancient Egyptians lived in a time before modern conveniences such as electricity, running water, and indoor plumbing. They also lived in a hierarchical society with the pharaoh at the top, and the people divided into different classes based on their occupation and wealth. Despite the challenges of ancient Egyptian life, it was also a time of great beauty and wonder. The ancient Egyptians were known for their art, architecture, and culture, and they left behind a legacy that continues to inspire people today. In conclusion, the ancient Egyptians were a sophisticated and advanced civilization that made significant contributions to human history. Their temples were a testament to their skill and ingenuity, and their use of gold and other precious materials made them truly magnificent structures. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed learning about the ancient Egyptians and their magnificent temples. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.
We've got many more videos in the works, and we can't wait to share them with you.
Until then, keep exploring ancient history and stay curious. We'll see you next time.